Welcome to the Launch to Six podcast, a podcast about how you can launch your online business from 0 to 6 figures in 24 months or less, regardless of your prior experience. Now, here's your hosts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Launch to Six podcast. You're here with Casper and Tomasz. Today we're going to be talking about the surprising secret to getting your web pages built faster.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So did you want to kick off, Tomasz?
Yeah, of course. So me and Casper are sat here. We are well caffeinated.
That's right.
And we're ready to dive in.
As always.
So this is a really fun episode. So this is like a surprisingly simple secret and system that a lot of the big boys like Netflix and Google use. Any big established company will be using this to produce their content
100%.
fast. And what this is having a brand palette. Now, I've mentioned this a number of times, and I think it's a really good combo for us to be going through this, because it's actually how we communicate as designer and developer in Launch to Six and in Menacing Media, so it's a huge, huge thing. Now, what I'll do is I'll kick off and just burn through what is a brand palette for you guys. So you might have heard of it. You can actually look up, just type in Netflix brand or something like that, and you'll actually pull up a full site and you'll see what they've got. But in a nutshell, what it is, so this is your fonts, your head font, your body fonts, and so forth. What those fonts are, standardized, and sizes. This could be your colors. So your brand colors, 1, 2, 3, however many there may be. The way they're used, their hex codes and CSS codes, whatever that is. Your logos in multiple use formats, so PNG, JPEGs, and so forth. And then any other design rules like spacing around logos, image tints, for example. I was telling Casper earlier about this. And then maybe if you're a bit more deeper developed in your brand, maybe your brand values and what you're trying to communicate through your brand. Now, just touching upon me and Casper having a conversation earlier about things like design rules. Now, for design rules, it could be as simple as I mentioned with an image tint. Now, a lot of sites, they'll have, for example, the simplest example of this is that all of the images on their site is black and white. That's a rule. Now, the reason this is so important is to revert to Casper is when, for example, I come in and put forward a design. I'll work with Casper, I'll work with Tom, and we'll put forward a design. We then have a brand palette, which I then give to Casper. Casper can then implement this. Why is this important, mate?
Well, it's your identity. It's how people see your brand, and it needs to be consistent. So your message and the fonts you use all convey a particular message, and you want to be consistent with that message regardless of the medium or the platform that you're communicating through.
And with regards to, like, for example, to go from the quite high end, as it were, and you're building something from scratch, how does that help you?
Well, it gives me an idea of how things should look. So if I'm creating new elements, there'll be a set of style rules that it will need to adhere to. So like you said, padding, colors, font sizes, the thickness of the letters, so like how bold they are, letter spacing, all of these things in combination create a particular appearance, and you want that appearance to be consistent throughout your brand.
Yeah, and it's huge. We're just covering the sort of developer, the team angle, as it were, your designer angle. You might have you might be handing from one designer to another to do the work on your web infrastructure. Now, from a user perspective, it's huge, because as a user comes through, they want consistency. Consistency makes them feel comfortable. Now, obviously, as humans, we fear what we don't understand. And so if a user has stepped into one page and it's like, oh, this is nice, and then they click a link and it goes to the next page and it's completely different, they're a bit like, oh, I don't understand this. I feel a bit uncomfortable. So you want to be able to, in your web infrastructure, have that flow through each page, through each site, through each bit of documentation. You'll see some brands that are maybe more physical. Car companies are a great example. Volvo, they've got a very specific design language they use, don't they?
They do, yeah. They're very safety focused, very safety oriented.
And their brand will revert to that. And so, down to the plastics they use, you'll have some companies down to the print that they use. All of this stuff is huge. And the big part, and this is why this is the secret of the big boys, all the established companies, for you guys who are just getting started, the reason this is because it is a system. It allows you to do this task quickly and easily multiple times. So when you are handing your design requirements, you need a new page, a new funnel over to somebody, an outsourcer, wherever they are, you can very quickly go, right, I want XYZ, here's my brand palette. And what that does, I mean, we've had this in Menacing Media, haven't we, where a client comes in and we'll go, right, okay, we see your site. Have you got a brand palette? Have you got some colors? And I go, well, not really. So we have to essentially build them extra or accompany that within their hours, that we've then got to essentially go, right, here's their logo, here's it in a nice format, a nice function, here's their colors that we're then going to revert. And to be fair, we're quite proud of ourselves as an agency. So
designers will usually give you this entire brand.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a fantastic next point, is make sure to ask your designer for this. Really specify it. So you go, I'm going for a logo, go, right, okay, I want a logo and I also want some other bits and pieces. And you can put this list together yourself. It can be a document and you can put it together. But yeah, guys, from me and Casper, enjoying our coffees here and sharing the stuff with you. Thank you very much. Thank you for lending your ears. And please do check out the Facebook group. Lots of great content there. And till the next podcast.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
then. Thanks, guys. Take care. See you later.
Take care. Bye.